My name is Dick Townsend, and welcome back to Reminiscences of a Plant Manager as we pick up on part 3 of the Hurricane Ike Recovery. We will discuss the initial damage assessment process and the initial cleanup activities. This slide shows the MSRC trailer, which was so vital to providing communications to the outside world and to provide a workplace for our procurement and initial planning activities. We began adding tents throughout the site, with some having lights and air conditioning and generator power where needed. Managing the siting of these temporary shelters and generators is very important to get organized from day one to prevent chaos. Also, generators must be managed by dedicated resources to keep them safe and operations smooth due to refueling and et cetera that's done at night. A small team was formed to perform walkthroughs of the plant to perform the initial damage assessments and developed a list of hazards needing mitigation. As you can see, a lot of material floated off and ended up in unusual places. We found that one of our large flare lines suffered a weld break during the flood. We were able to isolate this line and make repairs quickly. A tremendous amount of sand and silt, along with fish, shrimp, and other marine life, were deposited inside the plant and had to be cleaned up. Very smelly. After the initial damage assessment was done and cleanup was underway, contractors began to arrive on site. We knew that we were going to have a tremendous amount of I&E work, so we engaged our embedded I&E contractor to reach out to the IBEW and start rounding up workers. As they started to arrive, many had to sleep on cots in the local union hall until temporary housing could be set up. One of the biggest challenges in a major event like this is providing the necessities of life early on, as the infrastructure in the city was not functional. Power, water, hotels, restaurants, etc., nothing was working. We were fortunate to have a real estate division in our company, and they worked closely with us to manage mold remediation, recovery of key documents, and demolition of buildings. They contracted with Belfour to do the demo and document recovery. They did an excellent job. If your organization needs assistance with disaster recovery or developing a recovery pre-plan, Townsend Consulting is here to help. Whether you lack the in-house resources or require expert guidance to get organized and prepared, we can provide the support you need. Contact us at the phone number below or the email at townsendconsultant.com and to ensure you're ready for any challenge. So in the early days of the recovery, we were in see work, do work mode, as I called it, as the work needed to be done was obvious. We knew that we needed to formulate a more detailed recovery plan quickly as staffing levels began to dramatically increase. So the damage assessment was picking up speed, materials were being ordered, equipment was being brought in, resources were being secured, contractors were being put to work everywhere. People were trying to get organized, and we needed a plan rapidly. The basic structure by the end of the first week, we had fallen into life support, control systems, power distribution, analyzers, and gas chromatographs, and field mechanical work. Our specialties plants, which were our only facilities globally, were the initial focus. Project and turnaround people were brought in with a charge to develop an effective, detailed execution plan. We wanted to understand the scope of work, prioritize the work for execution, develop the cost estimate, and develop an integrated schedule, and we needed to have a first pass within about 2 weeks. One of the key deliverables was an organization chart with key positions outlined. We were fortunate to have a large pool of resources to draw from to fill the positions. Many of you may not have a large pool of resources to draw from, so you should be doing some thinking about how you would utilize outside contractors to help you manage a large disaster recovery. In our next video, in part 4 of the recovery, we'll discuss how we managed a massive group of short service workers that were totally unfamiliar with our site and our culture. You won't want to miss this video, as you will gain valuable insights to use on your turnarounds as well as any disaster recovery efforts. The leadership of our site was about to be put to the test.